Well, the engines, the van engines are, Well, the Vanagon engine is finally back together. It took a long time, over a year, I think, to, nights and problems and stuff like that. We had some problems with the cylinder heads. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture all that stuff on video, but that's the way it goes when you have a full-time job and you're trying to do this stuff, kind of for fun. So I'll point out some really important bits about how to install the Vanagon engine and things you got to look out for. This is an automatic. They're actually a little bit easier in some ways, but harder than others as far as where you get the bell housing bolts to go through. So stay tuned. Okay, we'll start over here in the water pump area. I put all brand new hoses. Very critical for the 2.1 is these these are, the oil cooler lines. And this hard line, which was missing from this van, so I had to go out and find another one off of a junk vehicle. So make sure all your clamps are positioned right so it doesn't get in the way of the belt, or so when you reach in it doesn't cut you. And then there's another one that's down here. Let's see if I can get that position right. Right there. That needs to go to this hard line, which goes back here to the thermostat housing. So it's a lot of fitting, and then we had to put here, this is called the mustache bar. The mustache bar had to be on correctly, and we had to clearance this mount because I put a bigger oil pump on it. You can see down there, let's see if it'll focus. Fresh oil pump, big one, because the last thing you want to do on these is lose oil pressure. This is the worst jigsaw puzzle Volkswagen ever made, and somehow I volunteered or I'm getting paid to put it together. It's an automatic, so we had to set the end play. That was in and out about 6 times a few weeks ago. Got to make sure all your exhaust is tight. I put all brand new bolts on this every single time. And then this hole right here is how you put the torque converter bolts in. And the nice thing about this is on the van, it's actually just a bolt. So you don't have to line them up perfectly. There's going to be some wiring and things like that I'm going to have to fix. But now we're on the install and startup and everything like that. So wish me luck. Well, I screwed up. In an effort to put the engine in a proper place, I used up all my jack stands to hold up the engine, and now I don't have a way to hold up the van. So here's my dilemma. There's the big jack stands and the little jack stands to hold up this motor. There's the jack, that's what I was trying to preserve, but this is on the ground. It's got to go up at least 12 inches in order to get this giant thing underneath of it. So watch me struggle with that. Okay, got that done. Safety third. So now we're gonna get the van up, see what happens. Okay, so that was a bit of a struggle, but I got to reset because you can see here that the tire is right up against the jack stand. I actually want to have the little hook right in the bottom of that sort of clear spot where the jack stand was before. Similar to the way that I have it here. At least it's not snowing like it was yesterday. Okay, now I can throw some blocks under the front and get to moving. Okay, I think we're finally ready to get this thing in. The key here is going to be positioning the jack in a way that it's going to be sort of balanced on the whole thing so it can kind of sit there by itself. You must use a yellow microfiber towel between the jack. No other towel will be correct. Then I always fill my oil filter up, by the way, before I run it. I don't have any spark plugs in it either, so we're gonna spin it over before we put those in to make sure we have oil pressure, blah blah blah. Yeah, so many things were wrong with this. These studs were wrong. It's just been a nightmare, the whole situation. So here we go, it's gonna go in. One thing I forgot to mention was that a whole bunch of my entire bag of tools got stolen somewhere between a race and something else, and also our trailer got raided and they stole nearly everything in there. So got some new tools, Hazard Freight Bauer 3/8 inch, works fine. Anyways. Holy crap. Okay, it's in. What a feeling of accomplishment. It's I've done so many of these, it's hard to even count, but when they go in together, everything looks right. And the main thing, honestly, is that when you're all done, that this tailpipe doesn't bang against the body or something like that. Means you at least did something right. This thing's turned down a little bit, but this has a aftermarket muffler and a aftermarket cat. But as you can see, when everything fits up in here right, You know, this has bolts. Make sure you have there's a bracket up there. Make sure that's all right. But when everything goes in tight and it's all done, you're not on your back trying to make sure everything's right. One thing to note is that to make sure that this mustache bar is pointed the correct direction, it actually has an arrow that points forward. That's forward of the van. And it's really hard to make that wrong because this has a locator pin that holds this bracket on. When I got to the van, half of this stuff wasn't even installed originally, so we are way better off. Now it's time for maybe some lunch, and I'll have to put in the new nuts there, but time for some lunch and oil, and make a list of fluids I need and go from there. So overall, super freaking excited. And no one's more excited to get this thing out of the driveway than my fiance. So we want to maybe park our car in the garage someday. Park a car in the garage that runs. Anyways, I don't know what else to say. All right, if you're familiar with that sound, that means the key's in the ignition. Fuel pump's on. I'm just cranking it over to get some oil pressure. Oh, I forgot this. The automatic is gonna. Okay, so once I got done with that, I'll turn my light on here. Had a little drip here. These actually aren't the right clamps that I like to use. I prefer to use this clamp, which is a fuel injection clamp. So I might have to cut these ends off and get new clamps, but it should be enough just to get the thing fired up. And in order to make sure I wasn't flooding it, had the same issue here. In order to make sure it's not flooded, I unplugged the hall sensor, so it's not going to fire the injectors or shoot any spark. So all the spark plugs out, crank it over for about 60 seconds, and you know the fuel pump's going to run, but then I saw the leak. So we're going to plug this back in, put the spark plugs in. And I don't have any water in it, but I just want to see if it'll fire up. And then some more connections and wiring and stuff like that to get it to go. Okay, gone over everything. Kind of got some things out of the way. Got the airflow meter on, distributor on. This is plugged in. Ground wire, injectors. Did a couple turnovers, and the battery would barely run it with the plugs on, so I had to put the charger on it. Let's see what happens. I closed the garage and put something there in case it pukes out some junk. Oh, this thing doesn't have a tack. That's a bummer. Doesn't look like the temp gauge is working or is pegged, or I don't see it at all. Shut the key off and see. Missing. Oil light still not working. Sounds like the timing's off. The battery's not holding up. Crap. Oh, come on. Oh, wow. It runs. Oh, that loud clattering sound is normal for a new Vanagon motor. The lifters will clatter for almost ever, even though I soaked them in oil forever. But surprised it started with the airflow meter off, but that was my bad. I'm gonna have to look at the idle thing. I mean, there's tons more to do, but I mean, making it run means I can just finish putting it back together, and then I mean, it's probably a whole nother day, but it's getting cold out here. Better than yesterday where it was snowing, but that's gonna do it for today. I'm gonna clean up and go have dinner and tackle it another day. Thanks for watching.